Hello, everybody. It's me, Nate, aka Devil Dog, and I'm back with another review. This time I'm reviewing WWE 2K23. It was developed by Visual Concepts and published by 2K Sports and officially launched on March 17th of 2023 on the PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Xbox One, Series X and S, and Windows. Now, if you played this game, you know every single year they come out with a new wrestling game. Now, the last one was actually pretty interesting because the year before they had skipped the whole year because the game was so god awful. They actually decided to cook it a lot longer, and that was the best possible thing they could have done. Last year's version had like Rey Mysterio in this showcase. This one has John Cena. Now, what exactly does WWE 2K23 bring to the table that last year's game doesn't have? Naturally, you have your updated stats, your updated roster of your different wrestlers, and your multitude of different game modes. You have My Rise, where you can play two different modes of either Legacy or The Lock. Now, if you play The Lock, you actually end up playing as a new character known as The Lock that is a create-a-player you can create. So you can have yourself in it if you want, as he goes on this epic quest to beat everybody and get all the titles and become the #1 wrestling in WWE history. Actually, it's kind of fun. I kind of liked it. Naturally, the create-a-player returns. It's more robust than ever before. Yes, the photo mode does return as well. So if you want to create characters that look like you can still do that. And honestly, I had a blast on last year's version in actually creating a lot of characters that we even had for some battle royals for my friends at the local brewery, Aomatic. So honestly, create-a-player has always been deep and robust, and it's bigger than ever before. You have your online mode where you can play against people in different matchmaking and stuff like that. And for the first time ever, they bring war games into this. That's right, since their last pay-per-view that they had a while back, War Games, actually consists of the giant steel cage that encompasses 2 whole rings. They actually have war games in this, and it actually plays pretty damn good. I'm actually shocked to say that they put a lot of effort into this, even though it's only been a year since the last game's release. And of course, the showcase. This showcase is involving John Cena in his 20-plus year existence in the WWE, where it's really well, it's fantastic the way they do this. Much like what they did with Rey Mysterio in the previous year, this one actually has John Cena telling his story in a documentary style, explaining everything as he goes through his whole 20 years experience, from his first match in WWE, which was in I think ECW with Rob Van Dam, all the way up to the current area. And you get to play different characters. You don't necessarily have to play as John Cena. A lot of the ones where John Cena loses, you play as the other character that beats John Cena, which I actually thought was kind of fun to do. And of course, the My Universe returns as well. That allows you to do all that. And the My GM mode. So if you want to go and create your own roster of people and have your own different selection of wrestlers, you can actually do that in this, and it's pretty interesting. But I have to get into certain things that I have to talk about with this game. First of all, the visual fidelity is bumped up significantly. I am playing it on a PS5, so that might be the reason, but the overall animation and just the character models are very well done. I have noticed a couple things I have to point out. Now, there's certain characters that obviously, due to their popularity, like right now, Sami Zayn, if you're into wrestling, you know Sami Zayn is the biggest face on the market right now. He's a super baby face, which means good guy. For the people out there in the wrestling terminology that don't know, a face is a good guy and a heel is a bad guy. Well, Sami Zayn is one of the top-tiered faces in the company right now, and it shows because the dedication to the character model. He even has his newest T-shirt on that you can currently buy on WWE.com. Yes, that's kind of messed up considering how long it takes to make a game. But yes, they have his newest shirt on him. While there's other characters like Happy Corbin. Anyone who actually has been up to date with wrestling knows Happy Corbin's not happy no more. He just goes by his normal name of Corbin, okay? He even had a little stint with JBL that came back, but nonetheless, they have not updated a lot of the older characters' attire and their personalities. So you'll go into this and you'll find everyone from like friggin' The Undertaker, classic Undertaker, really good versions of like Randy Orton when he was younger. Honestly, that's superb. But then there's other things, like I said, like Corbin is a good example of where the fact that they didn't even bother to update the character model. It's his old one. And that's kind of odd considering if you're trying to keep up to date that there's certain wrestlers that they haven't really updated on here. Big E is in here. You've got the Boogeyman. You got Booker T. You got all of them. That's great. And they look fantastic and they sound great. A lot of them actually have their voice samples, which is amazing. And that's great. But it bothers me that only certain ones seem to got the special treatment, while other ones just had like just pumping out the door steam. And they did add some good quality content to this. While this is not an action-packed game, it's still more of a simulation style like last year's. They've added in a lot of new improvements, including certain rope breaks, the ability to like stun the referee to where when you actually do try to get a count from him, he's slower. And I do appreciate the detail that they've added to it. It is a much better game than last year's, but I do have to point out a couple things with it. The control, once again, plays great. The creative player is great. The openings of the characters, their models, the music is all spot on. But it does still have some glitches. I've had some issues, especially with LA Knight for some reason. I don't know why. But LA Knight seems to have this magic ability that he's learned from The Undertaker or something. As you see right here, look at this. Honestly, I have had some glitches. I've had more glitches in this than I did last year's game. They're nothing that breaks the game at all. Some of them are mostly like funny, especially LA Knights. But there's something I have to point out. The physics in the squared circle is great. I love the ability to jump an enemy at the beginning, beat them up after the match is over. The rope physics are well done. I do like the new ability of the My Rise with your journey of being able to be the legacy or the lock, which does add a nice little thing, especially with the voice acting of the real wrestlers in it. And like I said, to create a player overall, for an item that comes out once a year, I have to say I don't have a problem with this product. For the overall price of it being a full price game, the amount of content you get in this well exceeds the amount of stuff that is the same. So the fact, honestly, just the showcase with John Cena sells it right there. But the ability of War Games, the creative player, the My Rise mode, the updated stat roster and everything else actually makes this game very, very good. Honestly, I can sit here and say I can highly recommend WWE 2K23 to anyone if you're a wrestling fan out there. It plays great just like last year's version. It has updated graphics, updated roster, better graphics. Overall, it's got, like I said, you got your showcase with John Cena, you got the addition of War Games and a bunch of other stuff, but it does seem to have some extra glitches here and there. But if you can just get past stuff like, LA Knight teleporting, then honestly, I can actually say pick up and play WWE 2K23 today. It is a phenomenal game. Everything about it seems to improve, honestly. And I'm glad they took a year off a while back to actually get stuff straightened out. And while there are still some minor glitches in it, I can still sit here and say if you're a wrestling fan, if you kept up with WWE, you will actually like this game and it will be well worth your purchase. Please leave in the comments below if there's anything I've left out of this review that you feel I should have talked about. Leave any comments below, anything that you want to agree or disagree with me on. Remember, please subscribe to my channel. And of course, here at Double Dog Gaming, we always end our videos by saying, have fun, play hard, and remember, people, the devil is in the details. Peace out until next time, y'all.